Hello, my name is Harriet Johnson. I was born in Worcester, Massachusetts, September the 20th, 1923. My longevity in life has been the belief in God and the raising from my parents. I am a widow. My spouse was born in Newark, New Jersey. He was born also in 1923, November the 4th.
What branch of the service were you in?
I was in the WACs attached to, I was in Maxon Army Air Base.
When did you enter the service?
In 44, in 1944.
Did you, well, obviously you enlisted, is that correct?
I enlisted.
Right, they didn't draft ladies, as a matter of fact, they still don't. Okay, tell us about your family members who have served in the military during previous wars.
Well, my dad, who is now deceased, my husband, and a lot of, cousins and all. They were in the military.
Question, could you tell us about your family members that are currently in the military?
I have none.
Have none in the military. How about civilian social relationships? Could you talk about the friends and acquaintances that you acquired before entering the service?
Oh, well, no, because they're all deceased.
What is your highest level of formal education?
I went to college in Rock Hill, South Carolina, which my grandfather founded.
Is that right? What is the name of the college?
It was Friendship College
Friendship College.
in Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Do you think your formal education helped you in civilian life before you went into the military?
In many ways, yes.
Did your formal education help you in the military?
Well, it was different. It was different. Because I learned to follow orders in the military.
Oh, yeah.
And disciplinary and all.
Well, you got an awful lot of that at that particular school because most of our the historically African American colleges and universities were pretty strict. I believe you had to go to chapel on Sundays. Is that correct?
Definitely.
Right, and so you didn't have too much trouble getting into the military.
No.
You knew how to toe the line there because at Cheney they wouldn't permit you to walk on the grass, and you had to wear a suit, and you didn't wear do-rags and jump like that.
Oh, no.
Well, in regards to military education, basic training, where did you receive your basic training?
In Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines, Iowa. What kind of instruction did you receive during basic training?
Well, the average, that's been quite a while ago, But I remember one of the majors, and I cannot think of her name, but she took us to Lincoln, Nebraska to entertain the sailors, and we sang and danced.
Oh, boy.
It was quite an experience.
And the next question, you anticipated the next question. I was going to ask you what kind of social interrelationships did you experience during basic training, and that was one of them.
Yes.
That's good.
Then I was, when I went in after basic training, well, I'm ahead of my story.
That's okay. Look.
All right.
You tell your story.
When I went in after, when I was stationed at Maxon Laurinburg Army Air Force, Air Corps at that
Air Corps.
time. I was secretary to the major. And then I left there and I went to motor pool.
Is that right? Motor pool, huh?
Yes.
What did you do in the motor pool?
Oh, I took the soldiers on maneuvers and all.
Oh, I see.
I drove the Russian jeeps and everything.
The Russian jeeps?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize they had Russian jeeps. Huh, that's interesting.
Yes, they did.
That's something I learned. I thought they only used the Willys jeeps.
They had Russian jeeps.
Russian jeeps. That's it.
And your steering was on the right hand side.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Did you drive the 6x too?
The whom?
The 6x, the big trucks?
No.
Didn't drive
I
them?
didn't. You mean the rigs, like?
Right,
No.
Is that right? Well, how about post-basic training, education? What military instruction did you receive after basic training?
Well, after basic training, we was shipped. Oh, I want to tell you something funny.
Okay.
Every time I went on KP once, and every time after that, I went on sick call when my name was there. I couldn't take it.
Couldn't take KP?
I couldn't take
mean.
that KP.
That was mean.
Yes, it was.
How many people did you feed in the?
Oh gosh, I can't remember, but it was quite a few.
About 1,500 or so.
It may have
I
been,
remember
yes.
what was it? Camp Stoneman. I think they had 1,500 on the shift. Somewhere around there, and when they put you on KP, it was murder.
Yes, indeed.
Did they penalize you for not taking your weekend leave and put you on KP if they caught you in the barracks?
No.
That's the way they used to do us.
Really?
Yeah, we would lay in the barracks, thought we'd be able to rest and relax after a hard week of work,
Yes.
and then they would get us out of the sack and send us over there at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. for KP.
Wow.
So I learned one lesson: to get off that base.
That's right.
But this is your story. But you didn't have any instructional programs to be involved with? I was wondering whether you had any problems with the instructors, but apparently you
No,
didn't.
none whatsoever.
I see. Well, number one, you had a college education. If anything, you could have probably taught them something. Did you? Okay. I was going to ask you, did you like the schools you attended? But that's out of the picture too. Okay. There's a pretty interesting situation today. The military usually provides you with a specific education, an education to perform a specific task, and they do that primarily because highly technically trained veterans were able to obtain good employment opportunities, and they wouldn't re-enlist. And I was just wondering, did that particular situation exist when you were in there?
No, I went in business for myself.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay. Are there any other experiences that you'd want to share about your military training?
Well, I do remember, and I had sent my mother a letter because my husband was overseas. But some of the Caucasians threw a Molotov bomb in our barracks.
Molotov cocktail, is that right?
Yes.
And
But it was hush hush, you know.
Oh yeah, that's usually.
Yes.
Keep everything quiet.
Yeah, I have the scar right here.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. But you outlived all of them more than likely,
Yeah.
and they'll have to answer to you someday. Question: you indicated you were stationed in the United States. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the type of outfit that you were assigned to was?
Laurinburg Maxton, 810th Army Air Corps.
Army Air Corps. Oh, I see.
Yes.
And the question is, it is a academic question, really. Were they segregated or integrated?
Well, I told you they threw a Molotov in our
Right.
barracks.
Well,
I was a little ahead of the story.
well, that's okay. See how I anticipated that. That's one of the major reasons why I'd like to get all this information, because once we've gone, I mean, they'll sweep that all under the rug.
Yes.
Did you go overseas?
No, I was on shipment to go over, but my mother had a heart attack.
Oh,
So she had gotten in touch with the Red Cross and they sent me home.
they sent you home.
Yes.
So ships, and you didn't get an opportunity to be stationed overseas, and you didn't get involved in any combat or whatever. But one other area is usually critical though, the supplies, including food, clothing, shelter. Were they adequate?
They were adequate,
Mm-hmm.
but it was the first time I was ever introduced to powdered eggs.
Oh yeah, they would be green on the edge, right?
Yes.
How about dehydrated potatoes, powdered potatoes, and carrots?
I don't eat carrots.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're probably better off if you didn't. And what else did we get? Dehydrated apples. The fellow used to make apples overseas. How about the milk? Powdered milk. You didn't have to deal with that?
I didn't care for it.
That was the worst mess. But
Yes.
you know, when you're starving, you eat it. Well, how about the flour? I'll tell you what we saw when we were overseas. The flour had weevils in it.
Hey, what?
Weevils in it. Worms.
I understand what you're saying. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. After a while, you first you would pick it out, and after a while you just went on and ate it. The same thing. Okay. What medals were you awarded?
Good conduct.
Good conduct. Okay. How about the World War II Victory Medal? You should have gotten that too, right?
I didn't get it.
You didn't get that? You should have gotten that. The World War II Victory Medal.
I didn't
Oh
get
yeah.
it.
Well, the war was officially ended in December 31st, 1946. But that you should have been awarded that. And let me see. When did you get discharged?
In 45.
45.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you would be entitled to the Cold War medal. There's a Cold War medal also. So you didn't go overseas. So you didn't re-enter the United States. You stayed right here. That's pretty interesting.
Well, I stayed here, and as I said, Red Cross got in touch with me about my mother, and then I went back to my station, and my husband put a requisition through for my discharge
I see.
because he had gotten out.
Well, you've already indicated to some degree the relationship that you had with white military personnel. Question: was your commanding officer black or white? I'm sorry. Color.
She was Afro-American.
Afro-American. Okay,
Yes.
that's good. Okay, Afro-American, and that's a rarity with males. We had Caucasian company commanders, and they were usually from down south. And of course, the black. I'm sorry. Yes, I wrote this down. I'll have to leave a blank there. The African American military personnel were sergeants, etc. Now, how about your non-coms? How did you like your non-coms?
They were all right.
They were all right?
Yes.
That's beautiful, because ours weren't.
Yeah, they were
They
fine.
usually got the ones that they could control.
Oh.
The old soldiers from World War I were adverse to us, primarily because they felt we were too uppity. We were too much of an upstart, and we were threatening the status quo.
Yes.
So now, did you meet say white military personnel from other branches of service? Did you run across any of them?
Yeah, well, not the white, but the triple nickels weren't far from us.
Now, who are the triple nickels?
Paratroopers.
Oh, oh, I see. Now, was that an African American group? Triple nickels?
Yes.
That's interesting. So therefore, you didn't interact with anyone from the Allied nation, from the Allied nations, and you were in the non-combat areas, and that's about it. Okay, well, here's a good one. Fraternization with members of the opposite sex. Now, when I was a young man, if we looked at a girl, some of the people would get very angry and chastise us and tell us she was decent. She's a decent young lady, stay away from her. I said, don't people believe that I can come from a decent family, But the question is, how did parents or guardians of the opposite sex treat you when friendships were made in towns adjacent to the camps or forts that you stationed? But that question is nullified because you were married. Okay. Okay, the next question is recreation. What kind of recreation did you have during your stay in the military?
Well, they gave a dance at Fort Bragg for us to
Mm-hmm.
welcome us to, you know, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And I won the jitterbug contest.
All right.
And the officer of the day,
Uh-huh.
he presented me with a bottle of liquor,
Is that
which
right?
was not open. And when he came around to inspect our barracks,
Mm-hmm.
I had liquor in the lid of my
Uh-huh.
foot locker.
Mm-hmm.
And he had said, told his officer to get her name and serial number.
Mm-hmm.
I said, sir, just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you yourself presented me with a bottle of liquor. I
Mm-hmm.
said, and you can see my liquor is not open.
Mm-hmm.
He looked at me and turned, white as a sheet.
Mm-hmm. You've forgotten already.
He had forgotten.
We all look the same.
Yes.
That's pretty interesting. Well, you know, one thing I noticed about us, we don't really have to pay somebody to entertain us. We can entertain ourselves.
We most certainly can.
Well, the question was, is rather anyhow, what kind of entertainment did you have during your stay in the military?
Well, we had dances, and that's about it.
Did you meet any, say, notables, people that were in performing arts, that were in the USO, etc.?
Well, I went there, but the thing about it, it's been a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, that was in the 40s.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know Lena Warren used to go to different camps,
Yes.
and
I can't think of
and Dan Morgan and people like that.
I can't think of their name.
Okay, here's something real good also about the food now. Uh, how about the food you ate when you were in the military, and how did it compare with the food that you've eaten during civilian life?
There's no comparison.
No comparison? Did you like the food better?
No.
You liked your home cooking better?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
That's interesting. It's very interesting. Well, I would have to agree with you, but you know, you were born before the Depression like I was, and I've seen times when a piece of moldy bread was something you just scrape the mold off
Oh,
of.
yeah.
And a piece of bread, we didn't have any alternative. We had to get a lot of leftover food from restaurants, day old bread and stuff like that. And I'm not crying about it.
Yes.
I'm here today.
But you
because of it.
still
Right.
surviving.
And one of the greatest heroes in my life is a man who worked at Swarthmore College, who worked in the cafeteria, and he used to bring leftover food to us. Well, here's yeah, it's pretty interesting. You answered. You must be psychic. I was asking about the beverages. Were alcoholic beverages readily
Oh.
available for those who drank in the military?
Yes.
Right. And I also asked you, did you know of anyone who brewed their own whiskey, wine, Raisin Jack?
No, I didn't know.
You didn't do that? Well,
No.
I knew a lot of guys in the army.
Uh-huh.
They made their wine, Raisin Jack, and they made it from just about everything you can think of, coconuts,
Yeah, they made it from
pineapple,
dandelions and all. Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Okay, living quarters, your stateside living quarters, should have had running water, inside toilets, central heating, electricity, and air conditioning. No, and it says smile there. The air conditioning would be an open door if you were lucky.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Yes.
But did you have running water?
Oh yes, we had everything but the air
Inside toilet?
conditioning.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And central heating? Of course, yeah,
Oh.
that was either a pot stove stove or some
Yeah.
kind of wood stove.
In the center of the floor.
Right, uh-huh, uh-huh. How electricity you had?
Yes, we did.
But I noticed one thing in the barracks, you did not have insulation in the walls. So you almost froze to death if you didn't keep that stove going.
And a funny thing happened while I was in service.
Mm-hmm.
One of my friends, she was in the military with us, and she was from Columbia, South Carolina,
Oh,
Wilhelmina Edmonds.
mm-hmm.
She would curse like a sailor. And the lieutenant made her scrub the latrine with a toothbrush. And she was still.
Well, that happened to me.
Did it?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Oh.
The lieutenant made me run around the mess hall.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I asked him for permission to speak. I asked him a question. I said, which is more immoral, for me to use profanity or to go over and kill somebody? And he really,
Oh, wow.
he kneeled the cold, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, what's going to come out of my
Yes.
And we had to have mosquito bars because of the malaria that was over there.
Right.
So you weren't in a combat situation. How about folklore? You spoke of the lady that used profanity profusely, but there was another thing that we did have that was very valuable, our sense of humor, because we could say all kinds of crazy things about the worst situation we were in. But you remember any of the jokes, poems, songs, funny stories?
Oh yes. Well, we had. That's the way we entertained ourselves.
Right.
You know.
Signify monkey. Did you know that? Did you guys know that? Huh? Is that right? Well, see, now I've been trying. Well, you want to interrupt that?
Let it go on.
Do you know it?
No.
You don't know it, and I've never bothered to write it down.
No.
We have some characters who could run that right on down, and they could dramatize it and have it all
Yes.
crack up. How about the other one about the Titanic? You remember that one?
Yes. Say for me.
Yeah. I know, Shine.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys did that too?
Yes.
That's interesting. I would have liked to have gotten a tape or something like that of you because we had an awful lot in common. Didn't realize it. Okay, the question is, holidays are always a welcome experience. You know that. How did you enjoy your holidays when you were in the military?
Fine.
Fine. You had good holidays?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Fine.
that's interesting. I bet your Christmas. You remember Christmas?
Yes.
I remember mine over on Guam, 100 degrees in the shade, and I said, how in the world does somebody stand up there and sing, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas? That's about all you could do, dream about a white Christmas.
When I was in basic training,
Mm-hmm.
we had to stand at attention, and the temperature was 120.
Ooh, you guys didn't pay us that either. Well, I did pay us that one time after we came back on of a 15-mile hike, and all of a sudden it got, the atmosphere looked like it was snowing. The next thing you know, I was on the ground.
Oh.
And the corporal, he cheated me out of that. Look, I said, I did the best I could. I couldn't stand it anymore.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, how about your furloughs? Did you get many furloughs?
I had few furloughs.
2
But
furloughs.
a few.
A few furloughs.
Few furloughs.
Well, I didn't
Because,
get-
see, my mother, she wasn't a well woman,
Oh,
and my husband was overseas.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Red Cross, eh, pardon me, she got in touch with the Red Cross and all. And I would come home, you know.
But they were necessary furloughs.
That's
They
true.
weren't something that you
Oh, no, no, no.
cultural experience, any type of cultural experiences that you care to talk about that you acquired during your military travel?
No.
So you were in Iowa? Where were you stationed at?
Des Moines,
Des Moines, Iowa. That's a pretty interesting part of the world.
that's where it was so hot.
That was Des Moines. Is that right?
120.
A friend of mine who lived in Waterloo.
I don't know.
Waterloo. He passed on, unfortunately. Okay, the discharge process. When were you discharged?
45. Right up here, what, Trenton?
Trenton, New Jersey?
Excuse me, yes. Fort Dix.
Fort Dix, oh yeah.
Yes.
You were lucky. You went to nice northern. They took the mail for his pension down south, you know. I hated that. I'm sorry. I used to be speaking in your interview.
It's quite all
I
right.
didn't particularly care for it. What was the procedure that you had to follow in order to do this work?
I told you my husband came through with a requisition for my
Is
discharge.
that right?
Yes.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah. I finally got mine there. And, I arrived at the office like 5 minutes late. And this sergeant got a big cigar in his mouth and told me if I didn't get there on time, I'd have to get discharged at my regular date.
Oh.
But I had my furlough time, so I wanted to get out early.
Sure.
And I did. I was glad to wait a minute. Question in regards to military leadership, what do you think about the white officers
carry myself in such a way that I can get along with anyone.
Oh, well, that's good. I
Yeah.
was with people that used to be very difficult to get along with them.
Really?
Oh my God, man, question, what is your children's religious
Well, you're not being nosy. Um, Years ago, I was confirmed as a Catholic in order to get in Catholic school. I was a child. But since being grown, I had become a Baptist, which I do belong to Enon Baptist Church.
That's interesting. Of all the military personnel I've interviewed, least one of them indicated religious proclivity.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you had to have that back in those days because you had to fight two wars. You know?
That's
You
true.
had to deal with the majority culture and deal with Germans or whatever. You know? And I guess you have to choose the lesser two evils. But that's also interesting that you were raised as a Catholic. I believe one of the tenets of their religion is that they must apostatize and make sure that the rest of the world is Catholic. And of course, went to I better be careful that I will have to introduce that. I went to a funeral of one of my relatives. He was now not a Methodist, but there's
Lutheran?
no, but the church down in Philadelphia, the oldest church in Philadelphia.
Oh, down on Broad Street.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
And
I can't think of the name of it right now.
I went to see them. My uncle went to see them. And when we have a funeral, we say we're going home, and we have a good time because it's something wonderful to get away from this mess. But when you go to them, I guess they're very reluctant, and I guess they think you should feel the same way. Um, Can you share your favorite passage or verse in the Bible?
Um, well, the Ten Commandments, I love them. I really do. I love them. And I like the songs, you know.
Psalms? Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're in our favorite people.
Yeah.
And how about your favorite hymn? Or favorite hymn?
Precious the Lord, take my hand.
One of my favorites is when I've done my best, and the other one came along with Bob. Let's see. I don't know if you want
Oh, no, thank you. No, no, no. I used to sing on the fellowship choir at Enon. Yeah.
Well, what else would you like to share about your religious experience during that stage? We were living in Philadelphia when I was a kid, and I was here during Prohibition. Prohibition. I was in Prohibition. They expected that there was only leaders in religion, basically, keep down and live inside nature. So like they shouted like they live inside nature. But my neighbor was reacted that way. When they came in, he was tested to determine whether they had religion or not. And I understand that that was one of the temptations of the enemy, not to think that what's right is religion. That the enemy has a message. And so there was still interesting dynamics there.
Yeah.
I lived at 46
I know where that is. Because I had a home in the Cobbs Creek area. Near 58th and Christian. In the 60s. income.
Right.
It's good.
And if it's good, you can laugh. You know, when you put it in the business, and it's firewood. I didn't know what the Lord had. But there are some interesting dynamics. In some respects, it was important. We born, you didn't have to deal with the dynamics you did at the first time. But when you were put in a very traumatic situation, you had to fire with what you did. There weren't many African American up there. Very few. My friend.
They had one Afro-American club up there. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A friend of mine mentioned that when he
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, no. Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this is off now, isn't it?
No, it's on now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you want that ending back?
No, that's quite all right.
All right, well,
Oh, my
that
goodness.
doesn't matter. But, those things are always been necessary, but those things are natural of a human
The
being.
instinct, yes.
When you're in adverse situations. Because when I was I looked Mount Guam, and to God, we were 2 years better. I almost went earthquake. I didn't see myself doing it. But there were some people around who always did, chapters and views and clouds. And I remember almost every book you used to tell, absolutely have to back up to what you say.
And they can say them just like that.
Yeah, yeah. So we have a lot of kids still thinking,
Yeah.
And now the glycation. Only about, I think roughly about half hour. Nothing else you can contribute, right?
No.
It's one thing. Well, okay, that's one thing. How'd you like your uniform?
Mine's fine.
Did you like your uniform?
Yeah.
Did you think so? I kind of like that little field box there. It was kind of cute.
Yeah, see?
You still have? Oh, you still have?
Yeah.
Well, you know, oh, can I just-
Sure. You can take it down.
Okay.
Just flip it up.
Oh, okay. That's something. A little field box thing.
Yeah.
Really nasty with you about your uniform?
No.
Is that right? They used to get on us all the time. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Let me see if I can pull in tape here and get that. What I'll do is get it. That's nice. This is when you run out still too. Do you still have your uniform?